Something's already sizzling over there in the kitchen. Let's get now and check in with ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Hello, Judy.
Hi there, Scott. Well, I'm hoping the temperature is going to be a little cooler come Thanksgiving, but it's time to start testing new recipes. Every year, I kind of warn our viewers, this is how I do it. I try 1 or 2 new recipes to enhance the experience on Thanksgiving. Especially for our viewers, I'll have many new recipes that I love to try. But I've already practiced a few times, so here's the time where you might want to take this recipe, make this sourdough and sausage and kale stuffing, see what you think, and then you'll know if you want to adjust a little bit or do a different recipe for your family Thanksgiving. It's pretty easy, it's very flavorful. You can use some leftover squash in there as well, some bright Granny Smith apples, bring in the extra flavor of fall, and we'll pull it all together and bake it in a bread pudding style. So stay with me throughout the hour. I am bringing you a delicious red onion, kale, and sausage stuffing with sourdough bread.
Let's get back to the kitchen now and check in again with Chef Judy. Judy?
Well, I'm so excited. There's going to be a royal baby watch. Okay, so let's get started with our sausage stuffing. We're using sourdough bread, and I really like that little taste to it. It gives it a little flavor profile in the sourdough. So I have sweet Italian sausage. A lot of people like to use the country breakfast sausage for their stuffing, but I'm a big Italian sausage fan. I find the hot is just too darn spicy for this particular dish because you don't want to overpower the acid that you're getting from the turkey. So normally you can even brown the sausage in the oven in your dish, but just to get it kicked in a little bit more, I started. So I've cut up some red onions in big pieces. I was scanning, of course, recipes in different magazines, and I thought that makes a lot of sense to roast it like that instead of dicing it up. And that's normally how my mom always did it, was to dice up all the vegetables and cook those. But we're going to go this way, and I'm putting in the fresh thyme. Now, you always want to make sure you have Bell's poultry seasoning. And in fact, our chief engineer here came in this morning to make sure that I had my Bell's ready to go for that. So I do. And then I'm going to add a little crushed red pepper, and just a little bit. Going to give it a little pop. I'm going to dot this with butter. Now, this is a great time if you have any leftover butternut squash or acorn squash. By all means, uncooked, you can go ahead and cube that, and you'll see in the batch that's already in the oven, I have some. So we're going to take about a half a stick of butter and just dot it. This pan is heavily greased with butter as well, and this is the time of year you want to spend the extra money for sure on Irish butter or French butter. So we're going to put this in the oven to roast for about 20 minutes. I'm going to pull the pan out. I'm going to add the kale just for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll make this egg batter that we're going to use for the sourdough bread. Now, you want to pick up a nice hearty loaf of sourdough, and better to pick it up a day or 2 early because you want it slightly stale, and then it's going to soak in that mixture of the eggs and chicken stock. So when I come back, let's add the Granny Smiths and some kale, season it up, and get ready for the first taste of Thanksgiving, even if it feels like 100 degrees.
Let's get back to the kitchen. Check in again with ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. It is smelling good over there, Judy.
A little bit like Thanksgiving, right? So I just took the pan out that has the sweet Italian sausage and the wedges of red onions. You can see how beautiful it looks, right? All the bright color right there. The kale only has to go back on top and in the oven for about 5 minutes. If you do see a lot of excess fat from the sausage, you can just grab your spoon in the corner and pull it out, but it shouldn't be that much, and some moisture is good for it. So what we're going to do next is I have 4 beaten eggs. To this, we're slowly going to add about 2½ cups of chicken stock. Now, always have some extra chicken broth available. Sometimes I buy the smaller ones in case I need a little bit for extra moisture on top. Okay, so once that's mixed in, we're going to do another little pinch of crushed red pepper, and just a pinch, some more garlic salt and poultry seasoning. Then we're going to take our bread and the sourdough bread, nice rustic loaf. So you're going to get that crust in there. And you don't want soggy bread when you're making stuffing. That's really important. Whether you call it dressing or stuffing, that's the key. So along with that, we'll just go ahead and scatter these chopped Granny Smith apples, peeled. If you don't have Granny Smith, you can use like a John of Gold or a Honeycrisp. Macintosh is a little bit too soft and will tend to make it mushy. So we're in good shape with this. What we're going to do is just kind of let that bread soak in just for a moment and then give it a really good stir. So then we're going to take this. It's all kind of coming together moisture-wise, and we're going to pour that all over. Now let me move this bowl so you can see it directly from here. Okay, so I'll just grab my pot holder. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dot of butter on it. Again, that delicious Irish butter that's going to make it taste so rich and delicious. We're going to cover it with foil or parchment. I'm just using parchment paper. I'm sure it's better for you. And sometimes with aluminum foil, it almost makes the heat too high. So push that down just gently. It's going to go in the oven for 30 minutes. And then when we pull it out, we'll take it uncovered for another 30. And we are ready for our first practice run of stuffing for Thanksgiving.
It's a smart way because
Yeah.
I tend to try out all my recipes on a dinner party, and I'm told by my wife, not a good idea, but
No.
here you are practicing in advance.
So that's it, because my niece, Michelle Tonini, makes the best stuffing. But, you know, I want to have lots of variety and different things to show people. And I love stuffed chicken breasts any time of year. So you bring this all together. So if you want to do a sausage stuffing, practice it, see how you might adjust it, and you are ready to go with that. And then, of course, next week, each week, I'll be moving closer to the big
Trying
event.
out things? Yeah, great idea. This is a good one. Recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. You might want to use this one on Big Turkey Day, but it's good any time of year, like Judy says. Check it out. Dining link button on our dining page. Thanks, Judy.
Thanks.